Welcome to Games from Folktales, a podcast that mixes historical research and tabletop role-playing settings. This week, a discussion of mask magic. I've been trying to find a way of modelling mask magic for many years. There's an area in Istria which has an ancient Roman theatre where if you pick up the actors' masks, you are possessed by fairy spirits and gain their powers. For example, it was a way of bringing superheroes into the game which I never fully explored. For a long time I've thought about mask magic. I don't have a good name for it, but it occurs to me that it should be called hypocritical magic, because a hypocrite, or Hippocrates, was an actor, a person who figuratively wore a mask. So magic for hypocrites. This means that the Tytalus magicians, who take on an entirely new persona, are hypocrites. We have 3 poems today. I see the first one as a Creaman magician, perhaps, the second one as a Tytalus wearing a persona, although, be cautious, it's from Jonathan Swift, so it's full of misogyny. And the third one is a person who, to take the poem literally, is using hypocrite magic. The 3 recordings come from LibriVox. Thank you again to the recorders and to their production teams.
Prologue to The Madman by Khalil Gibran. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. You ask me how I became a madman. It happened thus. One day, long before many gods were born, I awoke from a deep sleep and found all my masks were stolen, the 7 masks I have fashioned and worn in 7 lives. I ran maskless through the crowded streets, shouting, "Thieves! Thieves! The cursed thieves!" Men and women laughed at me, and some ran to their houses in fear of me. And when I reached the marketplace, a youth standing on a housetop cried, "He is a madman!" I looked up to behold him. The sun kissed my own naked face for the first time. For the first time the sun kissed my own naked face, and my soul was inflamed with love for the sun, and I wanted my masks no more. And as if in a trance, I cried, "Blessed, blessed are the thieves who stole my masks." Thus I became a madman. And I have found both freedom and safety in my madness, the freedom of loneliness and the safety from being understood, for those who understand us enslave something in us. But let me not be too proud of my safety. Even a thief in a jail is safe from another thief.
So here I'd take the poetic literally. The 7 masks become treasures, each of them has powers, and if you assemble all of them, you can recreate the god that has become the madman.
A Beautiful Young Nymph Going to Bed by Jonathan Swift. Read for LibriVox.org by Thomas Copeland. Corinna, pride of Drury Lane, for whom no shepherd sighs in vain, never did Covent Garden boast so bright a battered strolling toast. No drunken rake to pick her up, no cellar whereon to sup, returning at the midnight hour, 4 stories climbing to her bower. Then, seated on the 3-legged chair, takes off her artificial hair. Now picking out a crystal eye, she wipes it clean and lays it by. Her eyebrows, from a mouse's hide stuck on with art on either side, pulls off with care, and first displays 'em, then in a playbook smoothly lays 'em. Now dexterously her plumpers draws, that serve to fill her hollow jaws, untwists a wire, and from her gums a set of teeth completely comes. Pulls out the rags, contrived to prop her flabby dugs, and down they drop. Proceeding on, the lovely goddess unlaces next her steel-ribbed bodice, which, by the operator's skill, press down the lumps, the hollows fill. Up goes her hand, and off she slips the bolsters that supply her hips. With gentlest touch she next explores her cankers, issues, running sores, effects of many a sad disaster, and then to each applies a plaster. but must, before she goes to bed, rub off the daubs of white and red, and smooth the furrows in her front with greasy paper stuck upon. She takes a bolus ere she sleeps, and then between two blankets creeps. With pains of love tormented lies, or, if she chance to close her eyes, a bridewell and the compter dreams, and feels the lash, and faintly screams, or, by a faithless bully drawn, at some hedge tavern lies in pawn, or to Jamaica seems transported, alone, and by no planter courted. Or near fleet ditches' oozy brinks, surrounded with 100 stinks, belated, seems on watch to lie, and snaps some cully passing by. Or struck with fear, her fancy runs on watchmen, constables, and duns, from whom she meets with frequent rubs, but never from religious clubs, whose favour she is sure to find, because she pays them all in kind. Corinna wakes. A dreadful sight! Behold the ruins of the night! A wicked rat her plaster stole, half ate, and dragged it to his hole. The crystal eye, alas, was missed, and puss had on her plumpers pissed. A pigeon picked her issue peas, and shock her tresses filled with fleas. The nymph, though in this mangled plight, must every morn her limbs unite. But how shall I describe her arts to recollect the scattered parts, or show the anguish, toil, and pain of gathering up herself again? The bashful muse will never bear in such a scene to interfere. Corinna, in the morning dizened, who sees will spew, who smells be poisoned.
Again, sometimes it helps to take poems literally. I like the idea of statting up Corinna as a character who has legendary beauty, but only so long as she uses her arts to maintain her facade, and she can act as a completely separate character when unmasked. A Jekyll and Hyde situation. It occurs that anyone who has the same set of materials could theoretically be Corinna, to the public at least, and so Corinna may be a shared persona. In time, the shared persona may become so well known that the props, absent of a human within them, can walk the streets being Corinna.
We Wear the Mask by Paul Laurence Dunbar, read for LibriVox.org by Mary Patterson. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile, and mouths with myriad subtle ties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but, O great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but, O the clay is vile beneath our feet, and long the mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask.
A previous episode dealt with fairy prosthetic limbs. Could this mask be a fairy prosthetic face, a thing that interacts with the world on your behalf, feeding on your joys and sorrows, so that they are never fully expressed to the people outside you? Your saga may vary.